You worked too hard, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to clean yourself up, to let someone pour the same poison back into your life. You fought through pain, you unlearned toxic patterns, you healed from betrayal, and you set boundaries that weren't easy to enforce. And now, just because someone from your past suddenly realized your worth, they expect to waltz back in and hand you the same polluted cup you once drank from. No, you didn't fight your way to freedom just to be shackled again. You didn't sacrifice your peace just to entertain chaos once more. You didn't rebuild yourself just to let the same hands that broke you come back and undo all your progress. You owe it to yourself to protect what you have worked for, to stand firm in the growth you have achieved, and to never settle for less than what you know you deserve. And this isn't a new struggle, this temptation to return to what once enslaved you. The Israelites knew it all too well. After years of oppression in Egypt, God freed them with miracles, parting the Red Sea, leading them into the unknown with the promise of something better. But when the wilderness got tough, they started looking back. Instead of focusing on the freedom ahead, they reminisced about Egypt, forgetting the whips, the chains, the suffering. They longed for the familiarity of bondage rather than embracing the uncertainty of freedom. I get it. Sometimes the familiar feels safer than the unknown. Sometimes the people who hurt us come back with apologies, and we convince ourselves that maybe this time things will be different. Maybe they've changed. Maybe they finally understand. But let me ask you, if you spent years purifying your water, filtering out the dirt, the lies, the manipulation, why would you let someone pour that filth right back into your cup? Just because they say they've changed doesn't mean they've been purified. The Israelites thought about Egypt in moments of frustration, but what they forgot was that Egypt was never meant to be home. It was their place of captivity, not their destiny. And the same goes for you. Some places, some people, some mindsets were only part of your past because they were never meant to follow you into your future. Going back to what God freed you from will only delay your destiny. Growth isn't just about moving forward. It's about recognizing what you can't afford to carry anymore. The old you might have tolerated mistreatment, might have overlooked red flags, might have accepted half-hearted love or empty apologies. But the healed you, the wiser you understand now that not everyone deserves access to your peace. Some people aren't sorry they hurt you. They're sorry they lost control over you. And if you let them back in, they'll only remind you why you had to leave in the first place. Galatians 5:1 says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then and do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery." Did you catch that? Stand firm. That means when the past comes knocking, when the old temptation whispers, when the same destructive cycles try to lure you back in, you plant your feet and refuse to return. Because freedom isn't just about being rescued, it's about staying free. And don't fall for the guilt tripping. They'll say you've changed, that you're acting brand new, that you're cold, unforgiving, distant. No, you're just no longer drinking dirty water. You're no longer entertaining people who only show up when they need something. You're no longer available for those who took you for granted. And that doesn't make you cruel. It makes you self-aware. It makes you strong enough to protect what you've built within yourself. When Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, Pharaoh didn't just let them go. He came after them. Because that's what happens when you break free from something that once held you captive. People will test your boundaries. They'll poke at your weaknesses. They'll remind you of the version of yourself that used to say yes to everything, even at your own expense. But what happened? God didn't just set them free. He drowned Pharaoh's army in the sea. Some things are meant to stay behind you. Some doors aren't meant to be reopened. Some chapters were closed by divine hands. Leave them shut. Listen, when you finally break free from a cycle, expect resistance. People will challenge your growth, question your decisions, and and try to make you feel guilty for outgrowing them. But growth isn't a betrayal, it's a necessity. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your healing, and you don't have to apologize for refusing to drink from the same dirty cup. So if you're struggling today, if you're feeling tempted to let someone back in, if you're second guessing your boundaries, remember why you set them in the first place. Remember the pain that pushed you to change. And most importantly, remember that God didn't bring you this far just for you to go back. So, when they come back, when the past knocks, when the same old cycles try to sneak in, remember this. You are no longer the person who settles for contaminated love, for one-sided friendships, for situations that drain your spirit. You are pure now, stronger, wiser. You have walked through your Red Sea, and what's behind you is behind you for a reason. Don't let them hand you the same dirty water you have already purified. Not today, not ever.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more episodes. Thank you for watching and continue to rise and excel.